What's up everybody, cilinixfxcapital here. Are you tired of missing opportunities and losing money while trading in these markets? Then I might have the solution for you. For those of you who don't know, we run the Cilinix Crypto Signal and Premium group, in which I not only share my own trades, so profitable signals, but I also give you 24/7 mentoring to actually become a better trader yourself, and you gain access to a trading guide with multiple strategies and basic beginner tricks to actually become a profitable trader yourself. If you're interested in that, links will be down in the description or in the pinned comment, and make sure to check that out right now. If you join through Telegram, there's actually a limited time only lifetime offer in there as well. So check that out and hopefully we will connect. Good morning everybody, welcome back to Cilinix Crypto. Hope you're all doing great. I want to wish you all a great weekend in advance. And welcome to this new video on Ethereum. We're going to do a little bit more of a long-term analysis and prediction on Ethereum. Short-term, as most of you know, not much has happened. There have been some major events over the course of the last week. Nothing specific for Ethereum. I mean, yesterday we briefly spoke about the validator queue, right? And that we have now, or at least the amount of Ethereum that wants to enter or wants to become a validator, wants to be staked, which there is a queue for that, especially if you want to stake it as a validator. The amount of ETH has surpassed the amount of ETH that wants to exit, right? So that's fundamentally that's bullish, but ultimately, right now, we're not really seeing any effect of that in the price, right? And yesterday we had some major economic data. We had the non-farm payrolls and the unemployment rate. While I reset my camera real quick, that's really blurry. But we had some major economic data, so that also caused this low time frame volatility. But ultimately, Ethereum has remained in the same range between 4,500 and 4,250. So has that much happened? No. All right. So that's why I wanted to zoom out a little bit at this point of time. The price of Ethereum is also at exactly the same price, or almost exactly the same price as last week. I don't think the fundamentals have really changed. I mean, some treasury companies are still accumulating Ethereum. We had the Linea launch, or at least the Linea launch is coming up. And there's some potential for that to bring a little bit more eyeballs and a little bit more hype to the Ethereum ecosystem. But I'm not certain that that's going to happen. And that's definitely not something I'd want to bet on. Linea, as you can see, the TVL has increased quite a bit. It's up to $1.3 billion right now. So it's going to be an interesting launch. But you can see as well that the history it has had is rocky, to say the least. So be aware of that. But no, on the higher time frames, look, Ethereum is still doing great. If you look at the daily time frame, we're still on an uptrend. One of the main things that I wanted to talk about, though, is that I think it's quite certain that if you look at the higher time frames here, that we are going to get a move up, right? I mean, we got this breakout above a massive resistance level right here, and it doesn't really matter how you draw the resistance, right? I mean, you can draw it like this, then we're fine, then we broke out with volume, and we've actually held the breakout. You can look at the value area high right here, which is a little bit lower, and also recent resistance that's more towards 3,850. Same thing, we broke above that with volume, we've been able to hold that, right? So I think on the higher time frames, this is the 3-day time frame, I think we're bullish. I think we can expect bullish continuation. But then if you look at the daily time frame, like the question is that, you know, short term, Ethereum has difficulties to break out, which is slightly bearish. But honestly, it also has difficulties breaking down, which is quite positive. So the thing is that we have these imbalances short term down towards 4,000 and 3,700. If we drop down into those on the even higher time frames, we're still bullish, right? So it doesn't really matter for our move into 5,000 and higher, which is what I expect. My ultimate price target is kind of around 5,500 for now. But the question is will we still see that pullback before going up there? And honestly, at this point of time, I would say no. I think Ethereum has been resilient enough. Tomorrow is full moon. Who knows what that's going to do? I think the fundamentals around the crypto markets are strong enough as well. So for now, I actually think it's most likely that, you know, we're definitely not going to stay in this very narrow and this very tight consolidation that we've been in for the last week. But I do think we're going to stay up here, consolidate up here, and then move up there. I think the only way we can actually get a drop into 4,000 and 3,800, 3,700, which, by the way, in my opinion, is a buy area. The only way to go down there is if we get some bad news. And we had some recession fears yesterday. If that continues, then we can drop down into that. All right. And that's, like I said, I think that's rather an opportunity rather than a reason to be fearful, because on the higher time frames we remain bullish. And I also don't think, like, short term fundamentally we can have some more fear, but ultimately I think fundamentally we're not going to get into a recession. So yeah, those are my thoughts. For now I would still say this is most likely, but depending on the news, which I will keep you updated on, things can change, but more on that next week. For now, thank you for watching. Have a great weekend, everybody, and bye.